Hi guys, welcome back. Right, I'm just having a little play this morning. I've got an idea of something I'm making. I've made these sort of things before, but this is something I'm doing. You'll see what it is later. This is another bit of firewood. It's a very nice piece actually. What I've done, some of those firewood bits, I've cut them into chunks like this, and it's actually really nice. It's a bit crappy on the outside, but on the inside, it's a lovely piece of wood. Very dry, so it shouldn't move once it's done. It should have done all its cracking. So I'm going to turn something out of this. So I'm just going to get on and turn. You can enjoy it now. When you're turning something like this, it is like turning a propeller. So just be aware, it's very noisy with the air movement. You'll feel the breeze off of it, but you got to just be brave. Okay, this is no different to a bowl. It's just that this part that would be up here and down there is already gone, and you're just turning this bit, but we treat it the same as we would treat it if we was turning a bowl. Okay, no different. Just remember, and you can't turn too slow. If you turn too slow, you've got too much airspace, you'll get too much bouncing on your tool. Okay, so speed is important here. So I know my lathe's already set at 2,500 RPM. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it down a little bit just to make sure this stays on. It should do. It's in my jaws there, my Axminster one, my gripper jaws. I'm going to be using a spindle gouge, 1/2 inch spindle gouge. Okay, nice and freshly sharpened up for the job. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to turn it down just a fraction. I'm going to start the lathe up and see how it goes. Right, so that's at full. That's too slow. See, we're going to get speed up now. So I mean, it's the sound that will bother you. Right, 2,200 at the moment. Might cut the cuts. Stop and have a look. This is one of those stop and have a look regularly. There, we've got some nice cuts there. Oh, we've got a lovely finish on that. Look at that. That's what we want. We don't want no breakout on these bits, and if you go too slow, you'll get breakout. Okay, like I said, and keep your tool rest in as close as you can at all times. When you start, even that, look, I can fit my, if I fit my finger in there, it's too far, because if it does get a grab, it will pull you down, or this will want to go off. So be aware of that. We've got a beautiful finish on there, beautiful finish on there. Now I'm going to boat, you know what it's the sort of thing it is, the boat shape. I'm going to put a tenon on here, and I want to keep that as a foot. Okay, so I'm going to come in and mark up for it. I want it to be, see, now I've taken that away, I can come straight and it misses my banjo. I've already set this up for it. I've got to find centre first, so let's start up. Got to find centre first. Right, this centre. And I've set this up. I want it to be perfect circle. Okay, now I was going to angle it. Look, don't angle up. Okay, so I'm going to stop that for a minute. Very important, especially if you're new to turning. If you're going to use your dividers, right, don't angle up with them. So when you've got your tool rest set and you've got it set for your spindle gouge, which is like 1/2 inch round there, it's going to be high. So you want that to be on centre. If you angle up, that's going to get in there, and it's going to, it could give you a nasty catch. Okay. Now my tenon, as you can see, is going to actually be bigger than this, but it's going to be a perfect circle. I only want to hold it on the two outer edges, but I want it as a foot. So there's centre. There you go. That's going to be my tenon. Okay. Well, not just my tenon, but my foot. So I'm going to come in. I'm just going to put a little cut on that, so I know that's where I am. And now I'm going to move. Now, a little bounce there. little bit of dust there. It's a very dry wood. This is really dried out. I might even put my extractor on in a minute to catch that dust. The dust is because, and I'll explain that to you, what actually happened there. The dust, and you can see the bounce here, is because when I'm going from here, first off making these first few cuts, I'm actually pushing in to end grain. When I come here, I'm cutting across, the fibres are going here, okay? When I get here, I'm cutting across it, which is perfect. That's what we want to do. Remember, if this was a bowl, you cut this way, you wouldn't cut this way round to the bottom of the bowl, because when you come round here again, you'll be pushing into end grain. You'll cause a lot of dust and you'll cause breakout, okay? As I get a little bit deeper on that, I'll be able to get my gouge in better on the bevel and get a push, and I'll be sloping from there. Then we won't get no dust and we get nice cuts. That's what's happening, okay? So it just, so you know, and it explains to you, that's why it's doing it, and that is what is happening. So come in, now I must have bevel control. If I get to here and I'm sloping, it goes a bit better. And actually I can tell you a lot of the problem there as well, and I'm just going to change it. I hired my tool rest up, didn't I, for the thing, for the cutters. I want it down there. That's going to be better. I'm going to get that slight angle up then, and that's going to be better. But that's going perfect there. Got these ripples here, and that's where I'm getting bounce, okay? And that's because, like I said, I've got all this airspace, but we'll sort that, we'll get rid of that. Once we've got it all good, we'll get a tool rest as close as possible at all times with this. I'll get that tenon sorted in a minute. So I'm going to do a little bit of it now. That's going to be there. There we go. Just slight inward because it's got to sit on the outer edge. Now I've got to get the actual foot done. That's it. That's how big it's going to be. I'm going to roll this edge like so. I want that to be, it's going to be a finished foot in the end. I want to come in here, so I've got to get my bevel on. Clean that edge there, so that cleans that, and now I've got to just see how well I'm cleaning coming out of this. Yeah, those I've got some ripples there. I'm going to get rid of those. I'm going to have to drop the handle and come round on them, but I'm getting the right sort of shape. Oh look, I've got a knot there. That's a shame. That'd be a bit of feature. That's probably giving a little bit of that bounce there because I've got a knot. That would explain some of that. So right, I'm going to pop that there. All good there. And now my cuts, I'm going to be coming to try and cut. I'm going to be cutting it when it's here, not here. And I want to come on with my bevel, and I want to come across here and try and get these cuts a little bit better there. And I'm going to turn the speed up a bit more. I've lost a bit of the weight now. So there I'm at 2,500 RPM. see how whether that's cleaned that up all right. It's getting there. I've got a couple of little ripples just there. Yeah, I don't want to cut the other one. Got beautiful finish on it, absolutely beautiful. Because remember, you're not going to be able to do a lot of sanding on it. It's going to be hand sanding most of it, isn't it? You're not going to be able to get on there for proper sanding. Okay, yeah. Couple of clean up cuts and that'll be all right. Right, I'm going to go for a longer bevel now on my tool. So I'm going to change from that one, and I'm going to go for a tool that's got a different grind and it's got a longer bevel. That will give me a better finish. I can feel where that bounce is coming. Right there. Alright, that's not too bad. I can see those few lines just there. And I'll see if I can get in and get a push on it. That might have done it. That knot's causing a problem there, but there, we got rid of them. There, that's gone, smoothed it up. The longer bevel done the job, and I had to come in, pick that cut and come out with it. Beautiful. Right, I think I'm happy with that for what this is actually going to be. I don't want to lose any of this thickness here, so yeah, I'm happy with that. That's going to be all right. That shape's going to be all right. I've got to take some cuts on this side yet, so that's going to be okay. I'm going to get a bit of sanding done on that. Put that tool back. I'm going to do a little bit of sanding on this. Right, now I am going to try and see. I've got a 180 grit on here. I'm going to see if I can do it with this. Start her up. Again, you must keep the speed up because otherwise it will fall into the hole. Working all right. Let's go for a 240 grit. Sorry guys, just give me a bit of sandpaper. 240 grit should be all right. Let me just see what you can see there. Yeah, you can see all right. Okay. 240 grit. That was 240. I'm going to go for a 320. So 320 and then that'll be it. lathe off then. Let me see what that looks like. Ah, right. Problem there. I've slightly rounded that edge and I was wanting it to be... I've done that with a sander. That's okay. I'll come in and I'll do this edge a little bit. What I've done is I've taken it, rather than me cutting in that again, I'll just soften this edge. Probably better if it's softened anyway. That's alright, and this has got to be done. We're going to lock that for a second. It'll actually take away the sharp edges on that, which would be quite good actually. I was going to have it nice sharp crisp, but that's the only problem when I was sanding the way I was sanding here, having it this way, it was taking one edge off all the time. Didn't really realise that, but with a soft pad, which you've got to have, it would be very hard to keep it dead on, so there you go. Never mind. Never mind, it's what it is. Right, let's turn everything off there. And what I'm going to do, I'm just going to wipe a bit of sanding sealer on that. Although, no, I don't think I've put sanding sealer on. I'm not going to be able to really wax this. I would like to do it with a Canuba wax or something, but I'm not really going to be able to do that. I don't really fancy putting my hands there to buff it, to be honest with you. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a bit of probably an oil on that. Right, I'm going to leave it for the moment. I'm not going to put any finish on it. I'm going to leave it at the moment and I'll do the finish afterwards. So I'll bring you back when I've got it. Actually, I don't know whether I like... I've done that foot there. I don't know whether I actually like that. Whether I'd rather that was curved right in. Oh, that's a design thing. I'll sort that in a bit. Right, I'll bring you back when I've got it in chuck. Right, okay guys, I've got you back. I've turned it round. Okay, got it held in my... These are my Axminster shark jaws. Okay, gives me that nice big foot. I've done it as basically a perfect circle, so it won't mark it. And as I said, it's not actually holding on these two sides here, but it's got full contact for the whole of this round. Or the tenon is on here. Okay, absolutely perfect, nice and secure. Now remember, again, this is exactly the same as if you're hollowing a bowl, so we don't want to do any pulls like this. We want to keep our cuts going in because the grain's going across here. If we come that way, we'll be going into the end grain and we'll cause tear out, we'll cause vibration, and it won't be very nice. Okay, we must keep our cuts going to the center all the time. Now I've got to take this down. I'm going to sort of work my way back on this. I want to come in to this sort of what the thickness is I've got here on this edge, and I want to sort of work that in here, but I want to get to this bit and do something in the middle. Okay, so that's what I'm going to be doing. Now you can use whatever you want tool wise. I'm going to start off here with the spindle gouge again. Okay, so I'm going to start up and see how it spins. That is turning at 2,500 RPM. Okay, I need it fast because, as you can see, the only solid wood is that line there in the centre. That's the only solid wood. Everything else out here has got airspace, so we do need speed. Right, back to the first spindle gouge I was using. As you see, I'm going to gently work my way to the middle. I'm working from the middle out. As you see, a lot of the time I won't take the tool off the actual wood. I will come back with my bevel and then roll and fill. Then stop and have a look. Remember, I say all the time, guys, right? The turning I do is all about. I thought it was a crack then, it's not, it's just a line. Got that knot showing through there, shouldn't cause us a problem. All the time this is about catch free turning things like this without getting any catches. I quite actually, I'm just looking at this, I've got the flat there and then it comes into a curve. I'm quite liking it, but for what I want to do I've got to go a bit deeper here, so I might have that slight flat there, I don't know. I quite like that shape. Just looking at it now, I might not, I might come in and take that all away. But with turning something like this, the reason I say keep your bevel on in all the time, the whole of this turning, you virtually want your bevel in contact for most of it with the hollowing. The reason being is I can come back with it closed, no catches whatsoever, then I can pick up my cut where I next want to come in. Okay, if I start coming in and picking up cuts here, there's always that chance you're going to just get it very slightly wrong and you're going to get a catch. You don't want to get catches, not on things like this. Okay, that's why it's done that way. So as you can see, I'm going to start my cut. I am not going to start out here and push in. I'm going to put my tool here on the middle, and there is no way I can get a catch. See, come back here, and then I'm going to come back to that square and then rotate and pick up the cut. Coming down to this middle, I'm just opening my flute a bit more. Right, okay, I can see the depth I've got. Now I don't want to go any shallower than that in the middle at this point, but I need to make some cuts on this end here, just to come in. I'm thinking of keeping that square on the end, that flat on the end. Have a look, see what we've got. Yeah, I'm thinking I'm going to keep these. I don't know, no, I might have to come back and just take that little cut. Yeah, I want this bit in the middle. See, that's going to be a little dish bit in the middle there, so we're going good. Yeah, I think I might have to come in. Right, I'm going to now come off of this angle. This is a 50-degree bevel. I'm coming off of that. I'm going to over to a 45-degree. That will give me that better cut. Okay, so this one has a steeper bevel, 45-degree, and I'm going to do exactly the same, coming back here, coming in, and coming down, it's just going to give me a little bit better cut. And I'm going to turn my tool rest in, make sure nothing's touching. That's it. That again gives me absolute control. The less I've got overhanging, the more control I've got, and that's fine. I've got to come back a little bit more here. You can see I'm coming back, I'm gently coming back. I'm going to get to this end here, and then I'm going to come in on that final cut. Okay, right, let's get it going. Right, okay, so we're coming on, we're coming back. Coming back here for this first cut now. You can hear that knot. I've got that knot just there. Drop my handle, come across it. Drop my handle, come up like so. Let's have a look. See what I've got here. Now I could hear. Oh yes, we've got a lovely cut. We've got it. We've done it all right. Okay. We've got clean edge there, clean edge there. Oh, I've got a little bit to go there. I can see there's a slight slope on that, so I might have to take one more little cut. Yeah, one more little cut. That's going to be. Yeah, that's going to be all right. I think actually I preferred it when it had the flats, but that's going to be okay. And this, to get this beautiful smooth finish on this, okay, this side here, so coming in and getting that lovely smooth finish, the secret to that is as you cut, you come up and you cut off the top, so that wood being sliced on there. Okay, that's the beauty of getting, that's how you get that really nice cut on that. And then I've got to go in here and do a little trophy bit on that, but I need to take another cut here. In a way I wish I'd left that with the flats on there, because I think it looked nice with it. But anyway, we'll do that on the next one. Right, now you might hear, you get that little bit of vibration. You've got to be very careful with the cut and show with the cut. Try and keep your hands off the tool rest. The reason being, as I come further away from this centre, obviously I've got more airspace. Look, from that last cut there, look how far that travels before that picks up that next cut. So you've got to have a lot of control on the tool to not get that going in, and you need that speed. Okay, so I'm hoping that this one more cut will have that done. Now put my bevel on. Done it. Right, okay, now This work can become a little bit harder when you're working in this middle bit, because you've got this big wing flying about and you want to be careful of it. And you want your cuts to be really nice, because again, this is not going to be the easiest of things to sand, you know, and I'm not really going to sand it. So I'm going to roll this as a little bead, like roll the top over like that. I want it smooth, okay, and then I'm going to come in and make another little dip cut there. Yeah, I think that's going to be alright. That's what I want. Yeah, that's going to be alright like that. I'm leaving that like that. Right now, I'm going to move my tool rest away. I'm going to, very stupidly probably, I'm going to try and do a little bit of a sand on this middle here. Keeping my hands well out the way from those wings, because that would really hurt. If that was to catch your knuckle. See, like that. As soon as you come back from that centre circle, it will grab it, and that's what it is. Just grab the paper at me, that's all. And that's why I'm only holding it like this. Okay, nice and gentle. If you don't feel comfortable doing this, then do it by hand. Okay, I'm just cleaning that bit there. That was the 240. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to come out here and just see if I can. I don't think I will get it. No, it's not going to allow me to sand that with that. It's going to grab it. So that tells me don't bother. Right, I've got that. I need to do a little bit of, and I'm going to do that. I'm just going to do a little bit with the sander. Okay, I've got those nice clean edges on that after I come right back and got that. So that was all alright. We're going to just do a little bit of a sand here. Where that knot was there. I actually got rid of the knot in that. Just there, that's where that knot is. There we go, that's alright. Nice clean edges there, no tear out, no break out at all. That's alright. Maybe not quite the shape I wanted. This is just a 320 grit this, because I don't want to actually change any shape on it. I want the shape as what it is. Well, I'm going to do a little in that top there, and then I've got to drill a hole in that, so give me a second. A little hole probably that big will do. So I'll move that out of the way. Turn that noisy thing off. just quickly, very quickly pop this in. I could just drill it by, but I'm going to do this, and that, well, no, it's done. It's just going to have this little hole put in it. That's all it is. Tighten that up. Do that like that. Come in a little bit. Down to about there. That's it. That's deep enough. Don't want to go through it. Right. That's it. Now I'm going to give it a little oil. I'm going to take it off of there and give it an oil finish. Get those bits of dust off. And then you'll see what it actually is. Right, and we've got no marks on the feet. I did decide to just have that little ring there, just made it a little bit more decorative. No marks on that whatsoever, because we've done a perfect circle and we've held it. That's okay, that's what I want. Okay, so I'm going to get the oil and that ready, and I'll bring you back for the oiling. Right, okay guys, I've taken it off, I've brought you back. So I'm going to put a little bit of oil. Now, I've got Lisa here on the camera at the moment, so she'll be able to zoom it in and zoom it out for me. Right, she was indoors before.
Yeah, so I was busy.
So, right, I'm going to use some of this. This is Mylan's citrus oil, okay? Oh, God, it smells really very citrusy. It leaves, once I've used this, I don't use it a lot, but once I've used it, it leaves the workshop smelling lovely. So I'm just taking out the tin, and this ain't gonna,
it doesn't colour the wood though, does it?
No, it doesn't colour it. It's going to leave it as it is, and it will, once it's, obviously it's got to dry out with time. Got to watch your dirty fingers. Which is a little bit of one of my things. I'm getting a little bit of fluff off the rag. Let me turn that over and use that side. That's better. It's not dirt off my fingers, it's a little bit of blue off of the rag, little bits of fluff. I'm just gonna, yeah, this doesn't colour it. Like the finishing oil, like when you've got the chestnut, the finishing oil, that can tend to darken pieces. I didn't want to darken it because this wood has got some lovely colour of its own. Yeah. Considering, guys, you must remember, this is firewood. This was sold as a bag of firewood, and that's what I've taken it from. Okay, just to show that you can get, sorry about getting the bits of blue on there, you can get some beautiful grain from some firewood. Okay, so that's going to have that oil dry, and then you can buff it, or you can just give it another coat of oil. The oil will dry, and it's not I mean, all oils are sort of flammable and things like that, but it's not really a flammable oil. It's not going to catch light or nothing like that, so don't start moaning at me, please. You use whatever finish you want. I'm just putting this oil, I'm going to turn it that way because I've got that lovely,
that's a nice pattern, yeah.
I've got that lovely bit of grain there. And what is it? What is it? What the bloody hell's that?
What is it?
Well, what it is,
what is it?
It's an incense burner.
There you go.
So I'm going to get that light. You blow it out. There's no flames, no oil will catch light, and if you know your incense burners, as it burns down,
drops.
It just curls over and it will drop, and it should hopefully drop inside that little dish bit. Probably won't, it'll probably go everywhere else, won't it? But you know, normally you'll have your incense burners, and like these go in here and they sit along a tray like that. Now you can do that. I can do them and have a hole in the side. I was going to do one, but I thought for this one, I wanted it in the middle, and that's why I've done the little. And there you go. That's what.
There you go.
That's what.
That's right in your face.
There
you go.
That's what it is, guys. An incense burner.
Yeah, it's quite strong.
They burn quite well, don't they? Look at that.
Yeah.
It burns a lot.
Yeah, it does.
So
actually, we could have used those for our, you know, those Halloween things that we did, like in the the cauldron,
smoker
the cauldron
thing.
and
Yeah,
smokers.
yeah, because they smoke better than
They
those
smoke
smoking
better,
things.
yeah.
Yeah, and thank you to you. You know her name more than me.
Lakshmi and I've forgotten his name.
Right, no, she went and got them for me.
Yeah, Lakshmi got it.
Lakshmi got it. Right,
Yeah.
from the post
And
office.
Ashwin, Ashwin.
And Ashwin. They ran at the post office. I told her I was going to do something like this, and could I nick one of her incense? Because I don't have these. I
No, we
can't
don't,
stand
but
things like that. I'm not.
No,
an
he's not
incense-
into that.
So thank you very much for her letting me have some of these. She went and got them for me. Yeah, because they burn these incense.
Yeah.
So there you go, and that's what it is, guys. So thank you for joining me. It was just a little bit for demonstrating. I'm gonna have to take.
It's too much for you,
I'll
isn't
just put it over a bit.
it? Too much
Right,
for
Lisa,
you. I
move
love
it.
it. I love
I can't do that. Smoke stuff. I can't do smoke. Right. Yeah, just a way of showing you how to use your tools and to get the cuts to come in. Because as you could see, you can't bloody sand it, can you? It is hard to sand unless you're going to do some hand sanding. So I've got little bits of fluff. That's all that is a bit of fluff. But there we go, guys. To get that nice cuts with no tear out, okay, and to get those cuts in there, no tear. And remember, this bit up here, you're not going to be able to really do a lot of sanding on it. So you want to get those cuts right. I showed you how to do that. So there you go. And if you're going to do it with carbide, no different. Exactly the same. Exactly the same cuts. You can get exactly the same finish, okay? Don't go into scrape because you will just tear it out and break all the edges. So there we go, guys. Okay, get it back very quickly. I should put my face shield on.
Yeah.
I must say, it does actually smell nice. My
It is
workshop
nice, yeah.
is really smelling nice at the moment. So there we go, guys. That is it.
Very
okay,
fragrant,
and before I
yeah.
get a load of comments, there is no fire risk. Okay, that
No, that just drops off and
nothing alive.
the ash is gone.
Okay.
Yeah, the ash has died.
Toodle pip, Toodle pip, guys, and I'll see you on the next one.
Bye, guys.